Alright, hello everybody, Zaxtorian back again with another First Play on launch day. This is another budget title of an indie game that not many people have probably heard of. A game that you'd probably just scroll past looking, through games that you might be looking for. This is a $1.99 game coming in with a hefty 40% discount its first week. It's called Card Brawl, and it is a indie strategy. It looks like a kind of a RPG, fight the monster kind of game, but it has a deck building and using cards to attack rather than your typical. It looks like it is turn-based, but rather than your typical turn-based RPG, you'll build decks of cards, and it might be interesting. Now, it says a mix of card games and roguelikes. Fight with monsters, craft a unique deck, and kill bosses. Try experimenting with different combinations and strategies to complete all raids. Start monster hunting in this new deck building game. Now, as you can see, it just came out today. No reviews right now, but the developer is a developer called My Dream Forever. Now, when we look at the titles they have on Steam, we see they are putting out quite a few titles. However, a lot of these games that they're making are pretty simple games and probably don't require a whole lot of time, especially if they're good at building these simple indie games, with simple graphics. Now, I own Anubis Dungeon. I haven't yet played it. Need to give that game a review. It is getting positive reviews, only 10 reviews. But the game that I know from them is Diabolic, a game I reviewed, I think, about a year ago. And I was pretty impressed with it. I think I gave it about an 8 out of 10. It wasn't a bad little game. So this is the same developer, and they just came out with a card battling game. So it is a single player game. Comes in at a budget price of $1.99. Right now it has a hefty sell price. We're going to find out if Card Brawl is worth your money. And we'll be back to do that right after this. Alright, welcome back everybody. When we launch the game, this is kind of what we see. Choose what language you have from these two options. We're going to go ahead and choose the English option here. You can select a resolution, 1280 by 720, 1920 by 1080 window, or you can just go full screen. So it doesn't really matter. We're just going to go ahead and play, guys, because I will tell you I've already played this game real quick. I closed it down. I was in the middle of a game, and I wasn't able to save the game. So when I close it down, it comes back up and it, offers me the same option here. I kind of wish the game remembered your choices here, but it does not do that. Let's go ahead and jump in and play the game. I want to show you this game and why I like it. Another thing this game doesn't do is it doesn't remember your choices here on turning your music off or on. I also don't like the fact that you don't have the ability to control a level. Like, you don't have a slider for your music and your sound. So you either have to turn them off or on. And the game doesn't remember, what you set this at next time you play. So right off the bat, the game is taking some, taking some hit points, or taking some score points, rather, in damage from their overall score right off the bat. So we'll go ahead and tell you how many points this game is taken in damage from not having sliders here and not having the ability to save your games, and the fact that the game doesn't even remember your settings every time you launch the game. But let's go ahead and play the game, guys. And I've played through the training, and we don't need to do that, but I want to show you why I do like this game. So when you come up here, you're going to have this avatar. You can't choose your avatar or anything like that. You're going to be this chick. And that's fine. So she has the ability to do melee attacks and magic, but it's all with cards that you have. So you have a deck of cards. So if you've ever played games like Magic the Gathering or anything like that, you're probably going to feel right at home to this game. But the cool thing about this game is even if you haven't played any, deck building games at all, this one's really simple, and you're going to catch on really quickly, and I think you're going to have fun with it if you like turn-based kind of RPG games. There is a lot of RNG in this game, so there's a lot of luck involved, but there's also quite a bit of strategic, choices in how you play that can determine how well you do. So let's go ahead and go in here to hunting for monsters. Remember, guys, that it doesn't save anything from your last game. So if you close down the game, you're going to have to start all over again from scratch and try to beat this, whatever level you've progressed to. So we are on the first level, the level right after training. And it says here we have a nibbler monster. Having fought off the crowd, he wanders alone. He does not pose much of a threat, at least but one, meaning by himself he doesn't pose much of a threat. Tells you your reward for killing him, and you'll get 50 gold. Now, sometimes when you fight these battles, you'll have a choice of battles to take on. You'll either have 2 or 3 different options, and it'll show you who you're up against and the reward at the bottom. But this time we only have one choice, so we're going to take on this nibbler. No option to run or anything like that. So this is your cards based on your deck, and you're going to start with a default deck of cards. Here it shows you how many cards you have left in your deck that you haven't looked at, that you're not holding in your hand. And then here it shows you that you can hold up to 8 cards in your hand, but you have 6. So you're starting with 6 right now. Here you're going to see your overall health. You get to 0, you die, you lose the battle. This is your armor level. It can block any damage done to you by the enemy, unless the enemy does some kind of a damage over time effect, or if they hit you in the back or something like that, that would be specified with the enemy type. This is your mana. So this is really important. Every time you start a battle, you're going to start off with only 1 mana. Cards that you play can give you additional mana, but once you're out of mana, you're pretty much done, and you're going to have to end your turn. On the enemy side, above them, it's going to show you their overall health, how much health they have right now, and how much damage they do with each attack. Okay? So when we start, it's always going to be your turn to start. You can do melee or you can do a spell attack, and it's based on the cards that you play. So for example, this one here, it shows you this is a physical attack right here. It costs 1 mana to do this, and it'll do 9 damage. Okay, that costs 1 mana. I also have a card for 1 mana that would give me 2 additional cards. But if I take this, I'm going to get 2 more cards from my deck here, and then I'm going to be out of mana. I also can use 1 mana to give me 8 armor to kind of help me protect me from his attacks. And I have 3 of those cards right here. And then I also have a card here I can't play because I don't have enough mana. It costs 2 mana to play, and that would restore 3 health points. It tells you right there. So to start off, guys, rather than playing 2 cards or rather than doing a strike and hitting him for 9 damage, it's not going to kill him. It's not going to be enough to kill him. And then he's going to come back and attack me. I'm going to go ahead and think ahead here for a second. I'm going to go, let's protect myself first because I only have the 1 mana. So let's use that to protect myself against his attacks first. So to play this card, I'm just going to simply take the card and drag it up over myself. So now I have 8 armor. Now I have 8 armor, and I'm going to be protected from his attacks. So we don't have any mana left, so we're going to go ahead and end our turn. So now it's his turn. He's going to smack us for 3, but we did not take any health damage because our 8 armor blocked it, and we still have 5 armor left. He's ended his turn automatically after the attack. It's our turn again, and we get an additional 1 mana. Now, I really like this because it kind of simplifies like the whole Magic the Gathering thing. If anybody's played Magic the Gathering, you remember you could build your own decks of cards, and in that deck would be your land, and you would play out these land cards that would be different colors and give you different types of magic and stuff like that. This game doesn't have any different types of spells or anything like that. It's just all mana. And much like Magic the Gathering, where the maximum land you could play out each turn was 1 land to give you 1 mana each turn, this game just automatically gives you 1 new mana every turn in a battle. So kind of takes that idea for Magic the Gathering and just simplifies it for you. So this is the second turn of the battle. We have 2 mana now, and we have a few more options because we can restore some health, which we don't need to do. We also have the ability here, we get a new card here because it gives you a new card each turn. This one costs 0 mana and gives us 2 additional mana this turn. So I really like that. That's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and do that. Give ourselves additional 2 mana. And here we're just going to simply go ahead and strike him for 9. We have 3 mana left. We're going to go ahead and use one of them to take a couple of extra cards. And this card here that we got is going to be able to take him out. So it doesn't, you don't really want to play any additional cards. There's no need to protect myself with more armor or anything like that before taking the enemy out, because that battle's over with. So now we have our default cards in our deck, but we can add a new card to our deck. And because our deck is shuffled randomly every time we go into a battle, by adding new cards, we can, really determine how our battles are going to play out. So you got to remember with these cards, some of these cards are really powerful, but if they take a lot of mana to cast, if you build your deck with too many really powerful cards, you're going to put yourself in a bad situation at the start of these battles, because you're not going to be able to play all these cards that come up or that are likely going to be dealt to you, and you may get killed before you even have the mana to play these cards. But still, I have a choice here. I'm going to try to choose which of these cards I like the best. And this is the part I really like. This is the part where it really gets fun, is, figuring out which of these cards you like best. You got to determine how much mana it costs and what it does. It restores 5 hit points for 5 mana. Not really. I don't really like that one. Now, this is a burn effect, so this is going to do damage over time. There's also a poison card that does damage over time as well. Costs 5 mana again. Expensive cost, but it does deal 5 damage to all enemies and applies a burn. So they're going to take damage over time as well as that 4 damage. That one's pretty powerful. And then for 4 mana here, we can basically apply a kind of a spell over the whole battle. And every time we do any kind of spell, like lightning bolt or fireball or whatever, like this one's a spell, for example. So, for example, if we had 9 mana or whatever, for example, on our first turn, or our 4th turn, I guess. It'd be our 4th turn before we could even play this, because it costs 4 mana. But if we was to cast a spell on 1 turn, and then end our turn or whatever, this is going to cause 80% more damage to be applied. So we cast a spell before we cast this one, and then when we cast the spell here, it's going to give us additional damage to the 4 and to the burn effects, I do believe, as well. So this is a card you'd want to play before you cast different spells to increase the damage that you do. So let's go ahead and just take this one. We added that card to our deck, and you're going to get a choice of there's new cards to add to your deck every time you win a battle. You come back here to this old guy here. So now we have 50 gold that we earned in that first battle. We can either add a maximum hit point, so this would make our maximum hit points 36. It wouldn't increase our current hit points, but 50 gold to increase our maximum hit points. Or we could restore a hit point for 30 gold. Notice that we don't have enough gold to increase our maximum hit points and fill up our hit points. Well, let's just go ahead and add a maximum hit point here. Notice that's faded out because I can't afford it. I have no gold. And the only other option is to go out and battle again. So notice we made our progress here, 1 out of 10. Now we can choose our battle. This is what I was talking about, how you can kind of choose your battle. All of these reward 100 gold. So at this point, it's just kind of choosing which one we think is the easier battle. Short goblins sometimes attacking from the back, ignoring your armor. So this guy will ignore your armor and sometimes hit you in the backside for whatever his damage is. And then this one is 2 smaller nibblers, but neither one of them's a leader. Or we just have the leader. Let's go ahead and take on the goblin, kind of show you how he works. And he comes in here. He has 15 health, 4 attack, and drag the cards from your hand into whatever you want to do. We have 12 cards this time in our deck, and we're only holding 4 cards out of 8. So we start off again with our 1 mana. Let's go ahead and give us some armor to protect ourselves this time, even though he might see our armor and hit us in the backside. It is kind of RNG whether he hits you from the front or the back. We're going to go ahead and end our turn because we have no mana left. And he did hit us in the backside. He hit us for his 4 hit points. Remember, we only had 35 out of 36, so we're down to 31 out of 36. And we still have the 8 armor protecting us from the front side. So we drew a new card, and if we had 5 mana, we could cast this and get 20 armor, but we don't even have close to 5 mana right now. Here, let's go ahead and now let's use 1 mana to go ahead and get some additional cards. We might get like another hero strike here. We didn't. But let's go ahead and apply some more armor here. Oh, I didn't mean it. Well, that's fine. We got some more armor just in case we need it. We don't have any mana left. We're going to go ahead and end our turn. He might hit us from the back. He didn't. He actually hit our front side armor and knocked it from 16 down to 12. Our turn again, we get an additional mana. And now we can take this guy out because we have the ability to strike him twice with these 2 1 mana spells. Bam. Bam. That hero strike is a really good, powerful attack, doing 9 damage for only the cost of 1 mana. Now we get a choice here. We got our 100 gold reward. Now we can choose a new card. Elimination deals 25 damage. It's a strong attack, but look how much mana it costs. As tempting as that is, I'm going to avoid that. I'm hoping that by the time I get 8 mana, I've won these battles. So this might be a a nice card, further into the game. But right now, it's a card I don't even want in my deck because it's probably a card I'm not even going to be able to play. And I'd rather have something that is more likely for me to be able to play early on. Let's go ahead and take this one, restore some health, and let's go ahead and use our 100 gold to fill up some of our health that we've lost. Yeah, and then on to hunt. So we come in with 34 out of 36 health. Now it says our only battle is a battle with 2 of these nibblers, and we have an evil plant as well. And this evil plant will make his allies stronger every turn. So we got to be really careful. Obviously, this is going to be your target, right off the bat. So the reward's 200 gold if we win this battle. And this is where the RNG comes in, because it's really going to, how your battle goes is going to depend on what cards you get up front. Notice I got all these really powerful cards up front, leaving me only the ability to protect myself with armor or do a hero strike. I can kind of see what kind of attacks they have, how much health they have. Let's go ahead and give ourselves some armor to start things off and end our turn. And as you build your card up with more and more cards, you're going to see that your cards build up every battle. All right, so we got hit here. No, our armor got hit from 3 and 3. Both these guys hit us here, but this root did, I believe, buff them up. I think they started with like 15 health each. Now they're up to 18. So you got to be careful with this plant here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and use this. We're going to give ourselves some additional mana here. Now we have 4. Remember, it's only this turn that we have that, though, so we want to try to use it. Damage from attacks plus 40% until the end of battle. Let's go ahead and cast that. Now we got a buff over us. We get that 140% right here. And we're going to go ahead and do a hero strike. Because we only have 2 mana left, we're going to go ahead and smack him. And we got that plus 40% modifier there. He's down to 8 health. Let's go ahead and end our turn, because we really can't do anything else. 1 mana. Yeah, nothing else we can do. So we get hit for 3 there. Our armor's gone. This guy hits us for 3. We take it in out of our health. We get a new card. We get 8 additional armor. 3 out of 3 mana. Let's go ahead and put some more armor on. Restore some of our health and end our turn. And we get hit. Our armor gets hit for 3. He buffs these guys up. Look how much health these guys have now. They're all the way up to 24 health each, because this plant keeps buffing these guys up, making them stronger and stronger. Alright, we have 4 now. Let's go ahead and deal 15 damage, guys, to this plant. Get rid of him. He's gone. Now we just have to deal with these 2 nibblers that have been buffed up by that evil plant. No mana left. Let's end our turn. Our armor's gone. We took 1 point of health there. We took 3 points of health there from this guy. We're down to 29 out of 36. We have 5 now. Yeah, we could swipe now. Remember, we're going to get that 140% modifier too, so this is actually going to be like a 40 hit point attack. Let's get rid of one of these guys right now. Used up all our mana, but one of them's gone. He's going to hit us again for 3. It's okay. And we're going to go ahead and attack him here. We can also do a mass burn. Deals 4 damage and a burn effect to all. But that's a spell, so remember that because this is a spell, this modifier here is not going to apply to this. Let's go ahead and take a couple of additional cards here, and that's exactly what we wanted. We wanted the ability to do a hero strike, do 12 damage, bam. And see, notice also this 140% multiplier is already being, it's already showing you the modifier here in this card, because the hero strike without this does 9 damage. So, but we do have 2 of those cards. We're going to go ahead and smack him again with that, and he's done. So now, this is something that comes up. This doesn't come up every turn after a battle, but sometimes you get like call it a loot chest or whatever, and you can have a choice. Every time you get this loot after a battle, it'll give you a choice of taking 3 different things. These things can be really good. Like 1,250 gold is really good because it's going to allow you to buy a lot of different cards. So after you choose one of those 3 cards after your battle, if you have any gold, you can, if you have more than 200 gold, it's going to offer you a choice to buy another card for 200 gold. And it's going to continue to offer you the ability to offer, pick a new card for 200 gold every time, as long as you have over 200 gold left. So this is going to allow you to buy, like 5 additional cards plus, increase your health or whatever, because remember a health point is costs 30 gold. That's all it costs to increase your, to restore your health. But instead of the 1,250 gold, we could take twice the maximum HP. So we could go up to 72 maximum HP. Remember, that's not going to restore our current HP, but at least our max health is increased big time. And that would cost a lot of money because remember, it costs 50 gold to increase our maximum health by 1 point. So pretty tempting offer there as well. 36 times 50 is 1,800. So this would cost 1,800 gold if we did this normally. Or we could just restore our hit points to maximum. So if we were really hurting on health, if we were down to like 2 hit points out of 36, this might be a really tempting offer here. In this situation here though, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and take... Well, let's do it. Let's go ahead and take Meditate. Let's go ahead and increase our maximum health to 72. Now we have this guy really gets stronger over time. You want to take this guy out as quickly as you can, so you're really hoping you get good cards to start with, because this guy buffs himself up really, he increases both his attack and his health every single turn, and you'll see how that works. So it's just this one guy. He is worth 100 gold, so he only has 10 health. But let's go ahead, just to show you guys kind of how this works, let's just go ahead and take some armor in case he decides to attack. He'll probably, instead of attacking, he'll probably buff himself up though. Let's go ahead and end our turn. Yeah, see, he's going to buff himself up. He got 6 additional hit points. That's a 60% buff to his health, plus he increases attack from 3 to 5. So this is what it's talking about. This guy, you want to take this guy out quickly or he's going to become a freaking monster. We have 2 mana this time. Let's go ahead and take 2 additional cards. We got a hero strike. Let's also go ahead and use this one to take 2 more cards. Hopefully we get another hero strike. We didn't. Let's go ahead and use this one here. Get 2 additional mana this turn. Let's hit him for some of our, let's hit him for some damage this turn. And I guess we'll just go ahead and give ourselves some more armor and end our turn. He buffed himself another 6 points and made his attack 7. Wow. We have 3 mana this time. We're going to get out of this, but this guy is just turning into a monster. We'll use this one. And we'll go ahead and give ourselves some more armor. We're going to end our turn. And he hit us with a spell, but it came out of our armor here. Alright, we have 4 now. We're going to go ahead and do 15 damage to him, and he's going to be gone. So that was a pretty easy battle, but you could see how that enemy was definitely buffing himself up big time. And this is really how this game works, guys. I mean, it's a pretty impressive little game. There's a lot of really cool cards that you can get here. Remember, when you're building your deck, you want to make sure that you're not just always taking the, the strongest spells, because you want to look at how much mana it costs. You definitely want to make sure that your deck has some lower cost spells in here, such as this one and this one. And that's really going to kind of help you, have an advantage early on in your battles. So I really like this game, guys. The only thing I don't like is the fact that I can't go in and save this game right now. So also notice there as well, you can replace these cards. So if you don't see any cards you like here, as long as you have over 80 gold, it's going to give you this option here where you can replace all these cards and get different choices. I'm just going to go ahead and take this one, for example. I know I have 310 gold. Remember, I was able to increase my max health to 72 with that loot crate last battle. Now I'm probably going to want to go ahead and start using some of my gold to increase my health a little bit here. And then I'm going to go ahead and go on to hunt. But now we progressed halfway through this battle. If I had to go right now, if I had to, go to work or leave or whatever, I can't save my game here. That's what I don't like. It's kind of getting more interesting as I'm taking on tougher and tougher battles here. But if I quit the game, I'm going to lose my progress, and there's no way to save it. And another thing is I'm going to have to choose again my resolution. The music's going to be playing. I'm going to have to turn that back off again when it starts. So let's go ahead and grade this game based on what we've seen so far, guys. Card Brawl. I really like this game for a $1.99 game. This is a pretty impressive little game. And remember, its first week on Steam, it comes in at a hefty 40% discount, so you can get this game for just over $1 in American currency. Value, guys. How much value is this game worth? It's worth 40 points. Biggest part of my scoring is, how much bang do you get for your dollar in this game? And with this game, guys, I think you get a hell of a lot of bang for your dollar. Remember, you have 3 different levels of progression in this game that you got to work through, and I think that's going to take you a while, especially if you don't finish everything, the first time, and get through one of the levels to progress to the next level. Like if you have to quit and start over again next time, it's going to take you a little bit more time. But all things considering, guys, I think you get a good value with this game. I can definitely see somebody playing this game for 8 or 10 hours to get through to the end of it and having quite a bit of fun. So I think the value is definitely there. 6, 8, 10 hours of play for $2, great value. Easy 40 out of 40 is my value score. Next criteria is fun. How much fun is the game? It's worth 30 overall points. And this is kind of a big subjective part of my scoring. What's fun to me may not be fun to you, or what's really fun to you may not be that much fun to me. But I like this game. I think it's a lot of fun to kind of, go through here and pick which, not only build your deck and pick those cards to add to your deck, but it's really fun to come in here and, kind of strategize how you want to go about each different battle. And there's a lot of RNG in this, but that's what keeps things interesting and fresh and gives you the fun that I think this game delivers. Guys, I think this game delivers on the fun. I really like it. I'm going to give this game a 25 out of 30 for fun, and I think that's a pretty fair score. I think it definitely delivers in that aspect. Controls and bugs, guys, it's worth 20 points. Now, this game could be an easy 20 out of 20 here, because it's simply point and click what you want to do. It's you drag the card to, it tells you there if you don't have enough mana, but you drag your card either to you if it's a buff for you, or if it's an attack, you drag the card to what enemy you want to hit. It's super easy and easy to understand. So the controls and bugs could be an easy 20 out of 20, except for the fact that the developer forgot to give us the ability to save our game, and he forgot to put in the game, for the game to remember your resolution settings and if you've turned the music on or off or the sound effects on or off, and you have to do that every single time you load the game. So I'm going to take points away from the developer's controls and bugs, part of the scoring for that. I think it's a very annoying part of the, basic features that you would expect of a game like this, the ability to save in the middle of your game. And you would also expect a game to remember your settings the next time you launch it. I'm going to hit him for 8 points here, guys. 8 points of damage are coming at him for just ignoring those simple little things he could have easily put into the game. So if he changes the game later on, if he has an update and he, does exactly what I'm suggesting here, then you could put those 8 points back onto the score, whatever score I end up giving him here. But right now, guys, 8 points of damage go into that controls and bugs aspect of my scoring. I'm giving him 12 out of 20. And the last part of my scoring, guys, the least important part, is graphics and sound. As we've seen time and time and time again in my indie game reviews, there have been a hell of a lot of games with very simplistic or minimalist graphics that are just fun as hell to play. People need to learn that, you don't need 3D Unreal graphics to have a fun game. That's why graphics and sound is, the least important part of my scoring. It is worth 10 points. And for this game, guys, I really like the art style. I like the art style we have. I like the background. I think it's interesting. I think the graphics are well done. Your avatar here looks good. The fire looks like fire. Spell effects are fancy enough. And for the type of game it is, guys, I think this game delivers on sound and graphics. I'm going to go ahead and give it an 8 out of 10. So if you add that all up, guys, 40 out of 40 for value, and you give it 25 out of 30 for fun, and then I gave it 12 out of 20 for controls and bugs, and then I gave it 8 out of 10 for graphics and sound, guys, you wind up with a very impressive 85%, basically an 8.5 out of 10 for those people that grade games on a scale of 1 to 10. 85% for me. That's a very impressive score. And remember, guys, the developer just goes in and makes a couple of easy changes, allow you to save your progress in the middle of a game, and makes it so the game remembers your resolution and sound settings the next time you launch it. Add 8 more points to this game, and that takes it up to a 93. This game could be a Zaxtor's Indie Gold game, mainly helped by the strong value this game delivers at the $1.99 price tag. Easy change. I think the developer could spend less than 30 minutes and apply the changes I'm talking about to fix that controls and bug score, make it a 20 out of 20. He could take this game from an 85 up to a 93. And if he does that, Card Brawl would be a Zaxtor's Indie Gold recommendation. As it is, it's at 85% and still a high recommend. I think this game is a hell of a lot of fun. And, I like this one. So there you go. I want to know what you guys have to say, though. Has this video sparked you guys to go out and buy Card Brawl on Steam? And if so, what do you think about it? Do you agree with my scoring? And, just let me know in the comments below if this video sparked you to go out and buy the game. Take care, everybody. This has been Zaxtor99, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.